how's life? It's LeTundra and welcome to another video of LeTundra's Dawning. So I realized that I hadn't really had an idea for what Wednesday's video is going to be like, or Tuesdays. I'm not really sure. I'm pretty sure it's Wednesdays because I think the last video I talked about my channel and what I wanted to do with it. And I believe I said after that I was going to talk a little bit about the projects I was involved with outside my YouTube channel that I'm probably going to incorporate with my YouTube channel. So I'm going to use this video to talk about one of them, which is my music, because that is more recent and it's coming up soon. And I want to let you guys know like about my music, inspirations, when it's coming out, and all those details, and especially any advice for people who are putting out music for the first time and stuff like that. So without further ado, let's get into this video. So I guess I should probably start at the beginning about how it all started with me for music, because, you know, usually gotta start like that foundation. Anyway, let's go. So, I've always loved listening to music growing up. Like, I grew up in a family where we like listen to music all the time. Like, it's a part of who we are, and it's just a part of our life and stuff. Like, whether we're like cooking or like playing games or like anything, we're like usually like always listening to music. And growing up, like my family, we went to like a lot of parties and stuff, so there was always music going on, and then it just became like a part of me naturally. I actually like, even though I liked music, like I liked listening to music like for fun. Like originally I didn't like what's it called? I didn't like actually like participating in music until I was like 13. That's when I actually started getting involved with it, because I started doing band when I was in 4th grade, because my mom wanted me to do band and like, you know, do more music because she had done it. And in the beginning I played alto sax for like 2 years and I like hated it. I didn't want to do it. I was actually planning on quitting in 6th grade, and then my band teacher was there and he was like, kind of like, he just basically said like, I know you're really bad at alto sax, like you do you want to switch, like, because I don't want to kick you out of the band, so rather than doing that, I'm just going to give you like another instrument to play. And I was like, sure, because I knew if I was kicked out of a band, like my mom was gonna like, it would not have been good. It wouldn't have been good. But basically, he told me that he wanted me to switch to bass clarinet, and I actually didn't know what a bass clarinet was. I actually confused a bass clarinet with like a soprano clarinet, which I thought was like smaller, and you know, and I thought it'd be easier because like for me at that age, alto sax was heavy to carry and it was a big instrument and I wanted something smaller. So I was like telling my mom like, hey, like it's a smaller instrument, they're gonna give us one, it's easier, I can learn something new, do better at that. And she was okay with it. And then come to find out, the next day I go there, and then it's this big long like instrument. Like I'll probably put it in the video, like if you see it, it's big, it's really big, and it's not, I mean, for me now it's not big, but when you're like in 6th grade, like at that age, it was big, and I had spaghetti arms. I was not strong at all, and I was not prepared for that. I really picked up on it pretty quickly though. I actually kind of like taught myself how to play bass clarinet, because what they would do is like when we had sectionals, like I was the only bass clarinet in that band, the 5th and 6th grade band at the time. So he would put me with the clarinets since we had like similar notes and stuff. So he put me there with lessons, but he really didn't like focus on me. He kind of like expected me to like just learn it on my own. He was focused on clarinets and stuff, so he didn't really pay attention. So I just learned it all by myself. And for me, it wasn't that bad. I actually had fun with it. I liked the sound that had like a deep voice. If you ever hear like a bass clarinet, it's really beautiful. I don't care what anyone says. Like, they are so underrated. Like, it's amazing. I swear to God, it's really good. But anyway, let me stop gushing about this. So yeah, after that, played bass clarinet. I still play it. It's my primary instrument. Played it in the 7th and 8th grade band, and I actually wanted to quit in 7th grade not because it was too hard, but I just didn't feel inspired or didn't want to do it. My teacher there at the time, he wasn't a bad teacher. He was very strict and stuff. I respect him very much. He was very strict, and I was like new at it, and I was like the youngest one out. Like there were three of us. There were three bass clarinets in the 7th, 8th grade band. I was one of them. I was the youngest and stuff. It wasn't that great because I didn't practice initially, and then for some reason in the middle of the year, I kept going back to the sectionals and stuff because there was a period where I just didn't go, and then I went back, but I had actually started practicing, and then when I like played myself, and he was like, "Oh, that's really really good. Like you are really like you improved. Like where was this effort from before?" And I was just like, "Oh, I practiced." And he was just like kept like giving me compliment after compliment. So I was just like, "Okay, let me just keep practicing, see how I do." And lo and behold, I just kept practicing. I made it a habit to like practice like an hour like every single day, and I could like hear in myself, like everyone around me heard like I was getting better, and I started getting more involved and actually trying to do better with playing that. Then afterwards, the next year, I was like kind of known as like one of the best students like in the band, like in playing terms and stuff. Like I was really good because, like I said, I've been practicing like every single day, and I'd actually like try like he'd give us the music and stuff, and we'd have to like play it, but I always try to like add something extra, like a crescendo or something, or like stuff like that, just trying to make it more dramatic and more like you know like interactive for the audience and stuff. Like that's the way I interpreted music. So I wanted to do that and like add something extra, and then he noticed and he started giving me like more solos, and like I was actually in a quintet for the Godfather. That was what it was, the love theme for the Godfather. We played that in 8th grade. I actually got an award for last year. It was amazing. It was great. Like I was actually doing well. And the reason that I say all of this was just to give you, foundation. But basically, that was what really got me involved with music, and even like having the idea of writing my own songs and creating my own songs. Like my original dream was to like perform in Broadway and pit orchestra and play with my bass clarinet and stuff. And actually, the same year that it was 8th grade, that same year that I got my awards, my solos and stuff, I actually started writing my own songs. Most of them were like love songs. Whenever I felt like a certain like strong emotion, I just start writing like lyrics in like my notebooks and stuff, and just writing them out of nowhere. And I think I had about like five at least five songs written that year alone. And that really became a habit. Like whenever I was feeling something, an emotion, like a really strong emotion, I just started writing lyrics, writing how I felt, and like, verse or something or a poem, and then I'd keep that for later. And then I always planned on like publishing it, but I had like, even though like I was good at like writing lyrics, I didn't really have any experience with like composing and like, actually like making instrumentals and stuff like that. And I didn't have like the materials for that. So I didn't do that until actually recently. Fast forward like a few years later, which was last year actually, the end of my junior year. I got my no, not the end of my junior year. It was the summer before my junior year. I got my first phone, and I started like downloading apps for like creating music. And this one app that I used, that I'm currently using, is called Bandlab. I would recommend it for anyone who's like new. It's simple, it's easy, it's a great program for people who want to create music for the first time without any complications. I started playing around on there, making a few beats. I didn't really take it too seriously. I didn't really like make any like songs from like what I wrote. I would just like experiment with like actually like making like beats and like instrumentals and stuff. And then it was actually last year, during my winter break, senior year, a year later, I was fooling around again, and then I just kept working on this one specific track, and I kept like fooling around with it, and I noticed like it actually started to sound pretty good. So then I started working on that from like late December January, February, like last month, March, and like now. So I've been working on that for 4 months, and that is the song that I am going to be releasing soon, probably during this month. It's not done, like the actual track, the instrumentals are done. I'm working on the lyrics because I actually wanted to incorporate like a rap and like part of it, but like the thing is like I'm new at it, and like, you know, it's nerve-wracking. I want to make sure like it's perfect. There's some singing, there is a rap, as I said before. You know, I'm trying to make sure it's like, you know, friendly for like everyone to listen to, because I'm not the type of person who just like starts like cursing and like just saying like, you know, that's not me. So I'm just like editing that, making sure that everything's in order, checking for like copyright, like legal rights. Like there's nothing copywritten in it, like at all, but because it's used from like Bandlab, I'm trying to make sure that it's like everything's in order, and like I'm doing this legally and responsibly, and you know that I don't have to like take down my music and like waste money and stuff, you know. So yeah, that is basically my story for that. For my music, as I said before, it's in the intro. It actually is my intro, the song, like it's the first part. That's a part of my song, which I named Pang. Right now I named it Pang. It might change, I'm not sure. The actual song it's changed over time. Originally the song was about, you know, loving yourself and being yourself despite what other people say. But now it's like it's still the same. It's about loving yourself in spite of what people say, but it's more like a take on like bullying and stuff. Because when I was younger, I wasn't like, I was bullied and I was like teased a little bit, and like it was kind of a back and forth. But usually that was like, I would usually like react to like how people treated me, how people saw me and stuff. And I wanted to like use this song to like not only like encourage people like not to listen to what other people say, to like continue being themselves, but like also to like talk to like those bullies who are like bullying people, like to let them know the influence of like what they're doing and how it will affect other people and how it can even affect them in the future. So that's really what my take on the song is for now. Like I said, it's really like the rap that I'm writing right now. That's where like the real like message is hidden inside. Not to say that the other parts are any less important, but that's really like where I want to like drive that message. So that's why I'm like working on it and like learning how to like do it in a way so that the flow is like nice and like people can understand it. It doesn't sound like I'm just saying complete another like nonsense and stuff. So yeah, that's what I'm working on right now with my music. But anyways, thank you for listening to my short story about music and why it's important to me. If you guys have any other questions, you can go down to the link to my TikTok down below. Also, I just wanted to say, I forgot to say this in the last video, and the one before that. I'm actually limiting it to one TikTok. I'm doing my business TikTok. I'm linking it down below because my personal one, it's like really, it's not anything bad in that one, but it's like, you know, it's K-pop and stuff. It's a lot of K-pop stuff, a lot of personal stuff that most people like wouldn't understand and stuff. If you are from that account, like that account, and you came here, because I know I linked my YouTube on that TikTok, then you know, you probably like know, like if you couldn't tell behind me, like I am a huge BTS fan, and that's what most of my stuff is on that TikTok. So you know, I wanted to do something where everyone could like understand. It's not like cheesy or anything. So I'm using my business TikTok down below. Um, if you guys are interested about my personal one and like BTS or the K-pop or anything personal like that, um, just let me know. And then I'll put it down below. If you guys aren't already subscribed to my channel, please subscribe and hit that notification bell to stay notified and updated on anything that's happening, because it is a lot. Trust me, you don't want to miss what's happening. Along with my music, I also have my novel, which is coming out in a few months. Generally, don't quote me on that, but it should be coming out in the next few months. I'm probably going to use that, my next video, after my next cooking video, I'm probably going to talk about my novel next, since I talked about my music in this one, so you guys have a clear understanding of my inspiration behind that as well. Just wanted to, like, you know, talk to you guys about what's happening with this. Sorry, I'm like rambling and stuff. I don't know. If you guys couldn't tell, just a quick note, like, I'm sorry if I like stumble and like trip over my words and stuff. Like, it's like most of the stuff I'm just saying, like right now, I'm just like, it's just happening and stuff, like, you know, like there's no script, no nothing. It's just, you know, words naturally coming out of my mouth. So I'm sorry if like you guys can't understand me. Also, if for some reason my speaking does bother you and stuff, like I'm not speaking clearly enough, you guys can turn on the subtitles, and I like edited through it so that you can actually understand what type of English or language I'm actually trying to say. Subscribe, click that notification bell, follow me on my TikTok down below. If you guys have any questions or just want to say hi, you can leave a comment on my TikTok in the Q&A. I hope you guys have a great day. Stay fun, stay cool, stay yummy, and I will see you guys in my next video. Bye!